Glenn Clark Radio, talking about the sports you do and don't know, both within and surrounding Baltimore. Don't ask him about preseason games, oh no, stuffing things in Griffin Basso. Despite it being on the internet, he can call it what he wants, so Glenn Clark Radio, Glenn Clark Radio, Glenn Clark Radio.
And welcome aboard for a Friday edition of Glenn Clark Radio without Glenn Clark. Couldn't get much better than that. Stan the Fan sitting in for Glenn Clark, who may pop in late in the program, but Griffin Bass is here riding the ones and the twos. Griffin, how are you, my friend?
Doing all right, Stan. Doing all right. Doing pretty good after a pretty strong showing for the Towson football team last night.
Yeah.
Season debut.
They did very well, beating Norfolk State.
On national television, nonetheless. So I think it was a good showing for the Tigers.
Good showing
with the
for
true
them.
Freshman at quarterback. They had two veterans that had both started like almost full seasons at the level, and they decided to go with the true freshman, Andrew Insdorf. And he threw 3 touchdowns. So I think
good for him. Good for him, and good for Towson.
Had to spoil the fairy tale. Couldn't get the fairy tale start that Michael Vick and the Spartans wanted, unfortunately. But hey, it's Towson football, baby.
And the Terps start tomorrow. What time is that game?
That game will be at noon on the Big Ten Network.
And who are they playing?
They are playing FAU.
FAU.
Florida
That's what I
Atlantic.
thought.
They
Yeah,
are, of course,
Florida.
the Fighting.
The Fighting Irishmen.
No. That would be Notre Dame, actually. That would be Notre Dame. They are the Owls.
The Owls.
FAU, of course. Everyone knows that Florida
Owls
Atlantic.
are very vicious, I hear, if you get in a tussle with an owl.
All right, I'll take note, and I'll try to avoid that.
All right. Hey, here's what we've got on the show today. Glenn and I had an opportunity to sit down with the president of baseball operations of the Baltimore Orioles, Catie Griggs. We're going to view that and hear that coming up in just a moment. That's about a half-hour, 28-minute interview. After that, Mike Gibbons is going to join us. Mike is the Director Emeritus of the Babe Ruth Museum, and they are hosting at the Union Craft Brewing Company on September the 13th. That's a week from tomorrow, from 3 to 6 p.m., a reunion of the 1975 turnaround Baltimore Colts. Burt Jones, Lydell Mitchell, and many, many others will be on board. We'll talk to Mike Gibbons about what prompted that event and how tickets are selling and how you can get your own tickets for that. Also joining us on the program is a new addition to the Baltimore Orioles organization. They just acquired Kyle Schwarber. No, I'm kidding.
What?
I'm kidding.
We did it?
I'm kidding. Yeah, we held out. We were going to acquire Schwarber, but they wanted Brandon Young and Corbin Martin, and the Orioles were unwilling to go both of them. No, all kidding aside.
I can't wait to hear what's in this interview now.
In the trade that we made with the San Diego Padres, where we gave up Ramon Laureano and Ryan O'Hearn, we brought back 6 players, including 21-year-old first baseman Victor Figueroa. And we're going to talk to Victor, who has just arrived a couple weeks ago at Aberdeen. So Victor Figueroa, first baseman, 6'5", first baseman, left-handed hitter, right-handed thrower. He's going to join us. And then Glenn had a chance a little bit earlier this week to talk to Keyon Martin, defensive back, non-drafted rookie by the Ravens. 3 of them made the team, Griffin?
Yes.
Higgins.
Jay Higgins, the linebacker from Iowa. And,
right.
And then the DBs, Keyon Martin and
Lowry.
And Ruben Lowry.
Yep.
Yes.
So amazing. as good as this roster is, that we've got 3 undrafted rookies that made the team. That is really some good work. And Chuck Pagano, I know, has really been effusive in his praise for the talent that we have in this defensive secondary, which he is now in charge of. Hey, let me take care of a little bit of business before we kick it off to our interview with Catie Griggs, the Director of Business Operations of the Baltimore Orioles. Game day health. If you're feeling sluggish, unfocused, or not like yourself, it could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, they specialize in testosterone replacement therapy to help men boost energy, improve mood, and regain confidence. Their treatments include testosterone zipionane. They're safe and natural and tailored to fit your lifestyle with weekly injections or pellet therapy. Call Game Day Men's Health, Owings Mills, 443-264-4454. Columbia location, 443-266-3505, or Frederick, 240-931-3717, or visit GameDayMen'sHealth.com. That's GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Ask them about a complimentary testosterone test. We're also brought to you by County Sports Zone. High school sports season is officially underway in Maryland, and all year long, find scores, schedules, and updates for every sport and every school all throughout the state at countysports.zone. Countysports.zone is proudly sponsored by your local Toyota dealer and buyatoyota.com. All right? We'll tell you more about some of the sponsors on the show as we move ahead. But again, Mike Gibbons at 11:35 to talk about the big 50th reunion of the 1975 Baltimore Colts. He'll join us at 11:35. A couple other guests after that. But first, Glenn and I had a sit-down a couple days earlier this week with Catie Griggs, President of Baseball Operations of your Baltimore Orioles. Catie, first of all, thanks very much for your time. Glenn and I are excited. A lot to chat with you about. Wanted to start off with going backwards just a little bit. What attracted you to this job? I know you were interested in moving across country, but what attracted you to this job?
Well, to be honest, I wasn't looking to move. We were having a great experience in Seattle. My family's back east, and I do have 2 kids, so the idea of coming back east was something that my parents in particular were very supportive of, but we really weren't looking to make a move. This was something where it was such an incredible opportunity that honestly, I felt I had no choice. I mean, there really aren't that many opportunities to come work for an incredible ownership group who has a brand new vision for how you can move forward in one of the icons of baseball. I mean, this is an incredible ballpark, and we have the opportunity to make investments to ensure that it's as incredible 30 years from now as it is today. And so when you put all of those things together, that's a true once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and we were excited to be asked to embark on that.
All right. Tell me a little bit about what last off season was like once you took the position and you hit the ground running. But you had so many things to accomplish, so many positions to fill. What was that like?
Well, I think it's interesting. When I had the privilege of starting last August, so I was here on the ground almost exactly a year ago, and really got to spend the end of the season sort of getting to know our ballpark, getting to spend time with our fans, getting to spend time in the city, getting to know our staff, and trying to figure out what are the things that we double down on, what are the things that we tweak, and what are the things that require more substantive change. And as part of that, we got through the end of the season, because you really don't want to be making material changes at that point in the season, identified the places where we felt we needed some different approaches. And to your point, then over the off season, it really was a opportunity to get to work. I really believe that people are the core of businesses. I mean, whether it's the people we serve in our community or the people who work inside this organization to make everything possible. So it really was understanding what were we looking for, what were the types of people, backgrounds, and experiences that were going to help us get there, and then to your point, spending a lot of time and energy on that while simultaneously supporting the team here and working to set some new goals for what success could look like off the field for the business side. So taking steps in that direction. So it's been a busy, busy year. And then when you look at a lot of the things we do, they have long lead times. So we obviously have the opportunity to take our first major steps forward from a ballpark renovation project this coming off season. Those conversations have been going since roughly last September.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of work that goes on where you have long lead times both from a procurement and planning standpoint. So that was another major work stream that was going on. So to make sure we have the ability to pull that all off this coming off season, a lot of that work really has been in the works for almost a year.
One personal question before I put Glenn on to you for a couple questions. I'm really proud of Mark Fine. He was an intern of mine 30 years ago. I wanted to reach out to you and try and put a good word in for him, but I didn't know you well enough that it would have meant anything, and it might not even if you knew me better. What attracted you to Mark Fine to be your Chief Marketing Officer?
First and foremost, he's very good at what he does.
Yeah.
But on top of that, I think it's not only what you do, but it's who you are. Mark is someone who is passionate about Baltimore and this community. He grew up here. This was his team. This was not a job for Mark. This was the job. It's a true sense of personal purpose and passion behind it that I think is something you very much is a positive in someone who's looking for a role. But on top of that, the way in which he approaches people. Like, he is an empathetic leader. He is someone who very much wants to do great things, but wants to do that with people versus through people. And one of the big opportunities we view here in Baltimore is to make sure that we're continuing to make sure that Camden Yards is a place where everyone not only feels welcome, which is something that I like to say we do today, but really being more proactive of making sure that everyone in this community feels wanted. And I think historically, if you look at the ways in which we've engaged, particularly out in the community, we've been very present in some areas and less present in others. And Mark shared my vision for making sure that when we think about Baltimore, we're really thinking about all of Baltimore and ensuring that this is the team everyone can be proud of and feel a part of.
Okay, I want to follow up on a couple of things you said, because you referenced the outreach to various groups. And obviously we know you guys do Pride Night and Jewish Heritage and Christian Faith Nights.
Yep.
And I've asked this of other executives before. Inevitably, when you do these things, there is pushback. Someone doesn't like it. How do you, as a leader, how do you as an organization handle that pushback that you get?
I think it's pretty easy for me, and maybe it shouldn't be, but ultimately, I believe in doing the right thing. And we are an organization that is here to serve all of our fans. This is about creating a space where everyone feels wanted and included. This is not about excluding anyone. So I think to the extent there are people who have concerns, my hope is if they came and participated, they would see that this is not this group is better than, this group is celebrated, this group is not. It really is about creating opportunities to showcase the diversity of people we have here in our city and in our region, and celebrate them and make sure they can see themselves as part of this club versus creating an environment where anyone feels that they are excluded or otherized. So for me, I sincerely hope that everyone comes to the ballpark and feels welcome, but ultimately our job, and I view it as my job, is to continue to make sure that we're showing up to support the people who are supporting us.
You reference, obviously, the renovations. I know much has been made about what is to come. Can you lay out for us, by this time next year, what will we have already seen? What is the timeline for tangibly what this will look like in the coming years?
Yeah, no, the crazy part is it's not even this time next year. It's by opening day 2026. One of the unique things about doing construction in a venue like this is it really does have to work around our baseball season. So as soon as our season ends, literally less than 12 hours later, you're going to see people in the ballpark. If you come to the ballpark today, you can already see a few things underway. So we took advantage of the All-Star break to remove some seating right under the video board, where we will be installing a brand new, much larger, clearer video board looking ahead. But to do that, it's heavier. So we needed to do structural reinforcements, and that was work that takes a little bit of time. So we've been working to get ahead of that. So that's something that even if you came to the ballpark today, you'd see. A lot of the work has been going on behind the scenes in terms of making sure we're all ready for construction to begin. So that work's happening. There'll be a little bit more of that. That will become more visible as sort of we get into September, but nothing that would disrupt the fan experience in any way. But by the time you show up on opening day, it really is going to be something where there will be a number of new spaces inside the ballpark. So we've already talked about the new video board in center field. There will also be new ribbon boards around that club level fascia, a new out-of-town scoreboard. So we really have the ability to bring the entire venue to life in a way that we can't today around key moments. We've talked a lot about the premium club space, so we're going to be shifting the press box just slightly down the third base line and utilizing that space right behind home plate to create a space that almost every other ballpark has at this juncture, but we haven't here, which really is an opportunity for hospitality for businesses or guests who are looking to have more of that restaurant-style meal inside with indoor-outdoor access to their seats. So that will be in place. Our club level is a very large space, actually, on the interior if you walk around it. And one of the challenges with it today is if you are not one of our suite guests, if you're inside, you've lost sight of what makes this place so special. We wanted to address that because we recognize for a variety of reasons, whether it's weather, kids, just general life, fans are going to want to go inside and outside. So we're going to be actually removing a handful of suites and creating glassed-in bars where you've got a view of the field from the first base side and from the third base side. Again, looking to create more experiences for our fans, because ultimately, no different than the question you asked a moment ago about the different groups that we try to welcome and encourage to come here. We want to make sure they're experiences for our fans that they want to have. And the one thing I know for sure is those experiences vary wildly, so it's our job to create a ballpark where fans can find that experience that's best for them. Another space we haven't talked as much about it, but I'm really excited about is the space underneath that scoreboard and really having an opportunity to have an open space where groups can come together, and then on days when groups aren't there, have all of our fans have a really incredible view straight out from that center field space looking down towards home field, home plate. So there's a lot of work to be going on behind the scenes, and then there's all the fun, sexy stuff like painting structural steel and new cabling to ensure that the ballpark continues to be a safe and high-functioning space.
Can I ask the sound upgrades?
Sound upgrades, yes.
The timing?
Timing of that will be opening day as well. So
Okay.
in addition to the video boards I talked about, so there will be new speaker systems throughout the ballpark. So what that means, we mentioned we were going to do what I called a temporary fix for the season. What that temporary fix was actually putting in giant speaker columns that are projecting out. So they're all projecting from center field out to our fans. That, again, it's better than what we had, but that's not a long-term solution. So we're putting in new speaker systems and new bass all around the ballpark so you have more consistent sound regardless of where you are. So that'll be put into place. And another thing that I'm really excited about is IPTVs throughout the concourses. That allows us to have the ability to engage with fans in a more meaningful way, have more televisions throughout the concourses, digital menu boards, so we have the ability to make changes and have more specials than we have today, and also have the ability to use some of that signage for wayfinding. So at the end of a game at this point, if you're walking through the concourse, you may see a man or a woman standing, sort of an exit here sign, helping our fans find their way to the different points of exit. We'll be able to use more video screens for that as well. So just, again, trying to find those opportunities to make sure our fans are connected to the game, regardless of where they are in the ballpark.
Your footprint at this ballpark, outside the actual stadium, isn't very big. And your predecessors, John Angelos, was trying to work a deal, to get parts of the property around here. Where do you see that eventually leading? And is it possible it's not going to be on the stadium itself on that property, that it could be outside the stadium, that the ball club gets involved in redeveloping something?
I think it's important to us that our fans have a safe and welcoming experience, and we recognize that their experience getting to Camden Yards, it doesn't just start the moment they come through our gates. And so, as with anything, we don't have anything specific to report at this time, but we're very much interested in collaborating with others around our community on ways in which, both inside the ballpark, immediately on the perimeter, and perhaps even further out, we can be a part of creating a space that more Baltimoreans and more folks more fans from wherever they are, want to come, want to spend their time on game days and beyond.
Okay.
Can I just, because we know there was the report from the Banner about what you're saying is that's not done?
It's not done. No, ultimately, again, sort of to your very initial question about last off-season, I believe in biting off pretty big pieces, but I also believe in successfully executing.
Okay.
And when we looked at our priorities, our immediate priority was making sure that we took advantage of creating a space here in Camden Yards where we can present new opportunities to our fans. That's been the primary focus for the last year. But again, that's more a matter of timing and bandwidth than anything else.
You've been around for about a little over a year. You're aware of some of the issues that faces Baltimore and most importantly, what happened around 2015 with the riots nearby. Do you feel that this ballpark is where it needs to be in terms of how welcoming it is to people and how safe they feel coming here right now?
I believe this ballpark is where it needs to be, period. Being in the middle of our city, I mean, this is a place where everyone can come together. There's good access to it. From a safety standpoint, I know a lot of strides have been made. We work very closely with both city and others to make sure that when fans are here, they have a safe place and a safe experience. Again, not just inside the ballpark, but getting here as well. We also recognize that concerns continue to exist. And having worked at a urban ballpark in Seattle and an urban stadium in Atlanta, I'll tell you these are not uniquely Baltimorean challenges. But ultimately for us, I do believe that being in the city and being at the heart of everything we do, we wear Baltimore across our chest proudly. And for us, being in the city is the right place to be. But we need to continue to make sure we're partnering with public and private agencies to ensure that all of our fans are and feel safe. And those can sometimes be two different things.
Recently, you all unveiled the changes to Birdline membership plans. I think that in asking whether it's for a larger purchase, number of tickets that are purchased, or slight increases in ticket prices, I would think the fan base would want to know, if we are going to invest more, can we expect that the team will be investing more in what it is that we see?
Yeah, I think the short answer is yes, and that's not just a statement of today. I mean, if you look at the start of this season, payroll is up dramatically year over year, and obviously just a couple of days ago, we had the remarkable privilege of getting to announce a long-term extension with Sam Obasayo. So our ownership is making sure, like, this year has not played out the way that we all hoped. I don't think there's any sugarcoating that. But that's an opportunity for us to look, learn, figure out what are those things that we believe are going to be required looking forward to bring winning baseball back to Baltimore, and making those investments where needed. I mean, ultimately, we want to have a winning franchise off the field and on the field. And again, I think they have and will continue to make those investments to ensure we get there.
Making the announcement, did you all at all think about, like, maybe this isn't the time? Maybe given the record of the team, it's a tough ask? Or was it already committed and we are confident that we're in the right direction, that the fans will understand that?
I wouldn't say it was already committed. I mean, we're not naive, right? We certainly are aware that this was going to be something where people would say exactly what you just said. I will tell you that generally speaking, with change, there's no good time.
Sure.
Right? If you make a change when things aren't great, clearly you're tone deaf, but if you make a change when things are good, you're being greedy. Ultimately, we're making changes because we believe they're going to help us be stronger and, frankly, have the ability to give our fans more of what they want. Right? We're good. Yes, we changed our 13 to a 20 game. Yes, we changed our 29 to a 40, but we also introduced a 10 game pack. We also introduced a number of different benefits we've had fans clamoring for years. We also are going to have the opportunity for the first time for there to be a fair and transparent path for all of our fans to, if they want to, relocate to different seats. Not relocate to more expensive seats unless they want to, but relocate, hey, you've been in row 14 in the middle of the row for the last couple of years, but there's seats in row 13 on the actual aisle. You've been a member for the last 10 years. You have the first opportunity to look and say, if you want to make that change, you can. We haven't had the ability to be transparent with our fans. We haven't had the ability to have direct conversations about what things cost and who gets what and why. And again, change is hard. We're not naive to that. But ultimately, our goal is to make sure that all of our fans can find what they want, and that we're creating, whether it's packages or benefits or locations, our job is to help all of our fans find the thing that's best for them.
Catie, are you confident? You play 13 and a half weeks at home, roughly, and 3 or 4 of those nights per week are weeknight games, Monday through Thursday. Every Friday through Sunday, the ballpark is 30,000 plus. But those nights, Monday through Thursday, are you confident that Baltimore will come out and support the team the way it did before there was a team in Washington?
I can't speak to that because I wasn't here. What I can say is we have incredible fans here in Baltimore. I believe we're going to have an incredible product to put on the field next year. I know we have an incredible stadium, right? When you look at all those things, baseball's a lot of games. That's no news to anyone. You're right. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays for a lot of people, those are the nights that are just easier for them to get out. But ultimately, in my experience, if you're putting a high quality product out there, you're creating experiences that people want, and you're pricing them appropriately. And because let's be real, a price for a Tuesday night game is generally not the same as a price for a Saturday evening game or a Saturday afternoon game. That ultimately, fans are come. Right? Will it be the same as it was before? Again, I don't know. I wasn't here. I can't make an intelligent statement on that. But I believe we have fantastic fans, and I believe it's our job to make sure that they see a reason that they should be here, whether it's a Tuesday night or a Saturday.
This is not an Oriole question, so to speak, but do you think fans now are conditioned to want to come to the ballpark to get something beyond the game itself? In other words, that they'll come out when there's a Hawaiian T-shirt, a Hawaiian shirt night,
People do
or a
like
straw
white shirts.
hat. Yeah, I mean, you should have 7 or 8 Hawaiian shirt nights. But do enough people just accept coming to the game?
I think the short version is, if there's something that resonates with you and it's part of the experience, that's icing on the cake. But ultimately, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier, which is those different experiences. The thing I love most about ball games is this is a place you create memories, right? When you think about your first time at a ballpark, it was probably not, hey, I went to a ballpark by myself and got a bobblehead. It was, I was there with my mom, my dad, my grandparents, my Boy Scout shirt, my church group, my synagogue. Like, it's whatever your group of people was. Like, baseball's a place where people can come together and create memories. And sometimes those memories are premised on what's happening on the field. Sometimes it's based around a giveaway. But ultimately, our job is to create enough opportunities where, yes, the giveaways are nice, but as I mentioned, they're the icing on the cake, and the cake is pretty darn good with or without the icing.
Catie, I wonder, we've heard a lot about the future of TV rights in Major League Baseball. We know that there are a few teams whose rights are now being handled by Major League Baseball or in this new ESPN deal. A lot has been made about 2028, and that maybe being a time where perhaps we see more of that. Would it be best for baseball? Would it be best for the Orioles if TV rights were nationalized, were handled by Major League Baseball, and perhaps that created more of a revenue share?
I think it will be best for fans when fans are able to watch the games they want, when and how they want to. It's something I can't, so again, whether that's centralized, whether that continues to be local, I think there's a lot of conversation that I'm sure will happen between now and 2028, to your point. Our goal is to make sure our fans can watch Orioles games, and from a MASN standpoint, it's to make sure they can also, that Nationals fans can watch Nationals games. And so it's one of the reasons that as soon as we had the ability to do so, we launched a direct-to-consumer platform to ensure that, again, we recognize for many of our fans are still watching through their cable or satellite provider, and that's fantastic. But there's some fans for whom that's not their reality, and we need to make sure our fans can watch our games, full stop, because we know that even though we do play a lot of baseball games, for most fans, they aren't going to be at the ballpark 81 times a year, and they certainly aren't going to be at all 81 road games. So for all of our fans to have the opportunity to easily watch our games and fall in love with the incredible athletes that we have and fall in love with Orioles baseball, they need to be able to see it, and so that remains our priority.
We talk about some of the big crowds that you all get, and typically some of those rivalry games against the Yankees, the Red Sox have driven some of those biggest crowds. A lot has been made about realignment in recent weeks, and at one point there was something floated out by baseball years ago that would have the Orioles moving out of a division with those teams. Is it important that if realignment comes, that the Orioles continue to be with those traditional AL East rivalries?
I think it's going to be important to see what MLB is thinking, if that's a path they do in fact go down, because ultimately, presumably, if you're making changes, it's because you're making changes that you believe are in the best interest of the game and in the best interest of the fans. So I don't want to presuppose what those would look like, but you're exactly right. I mean, we play in the AL East. The AL East is the best division in baseball, and I would argue one of the best divisions, if not the best division in sports. And so for us having the opportunity to play teams like the Red Sox and like the Yankees as many times as we do is great, although sometimes challenging.
Sure.
But again, I don't want to presuppose what would transpire if they were to make changes, because I think that in that world it would be a lot of different considerations at play that I haven't had the ability to think through yet.
You alluded to the fact that 2025 has been a disappointment in a lot of ways. But the business side of sports doesn't have the ability like June 1st or June 15th to say, we're not going to make it this year. So we'll just hang in there. What did that give you the opportunity to try this year from a business standpoint?
Well, I'll tell you that, any of the players, if you talk to them, they play every game to win. And
Yeah.
so you're right, the season hasn't played out, but I don't think there's anyone on or off the field who would say, we got to June or July and we're like, we're just going to sort of wing it from here. On our side, it really isn't tied to what's happening on the field in terms of our desire to improve. And ultimately for us, we are trying new things. We are gathering fan reactions. Some of them work. To be honest, some of them don't, and that's equally valuable to learn. One of the things that we've actually recently done, we've hired a young man from the Houston Astros who's going to be leading our game day presentation. And something that he's done, and he did in Houston as well, that I believe is a really successful approach, is not only going and listening to our fans and understanding what do our fans here in Baltimore want, but also spending time with our athletes. Because if you think about it, there is very few people who watch more baseball than the baseball players themselves, and they see the best and some of the worst practices from stadiums all around the country. So for us, it really is about continuing to try things. I believe in failing fast, failing small, and failing once, right? Try new things, see what works, but ultimately our goal, particularly when we have a new audiovisual canvas to play with next year, is to be here in a place where our players are excited about it and our fans are excited about it. But ultimately, I expect you'll continue to see changes because we want to make sure that we're doing the things that are most engaging, and we'll try some stuff, and if it doesn't work, we'll try others.
How important is it to you personally that the club, the fans sense that there's touch between them and the team?
It's really important. I mean, we wouldn't exist if it weren't for our fans, right? I've talked about this with our players. Like, as amazing as they all are, and they are, if you watch a baseball game and there's no one in the crowd, like, it's a different energy. If you think, but unfortunately for all of us, you can just look back to the COVID period to actually literally have an opportunity to see that. It's different when you think about what makes an incredible game, especially from a fan standpoint. Yes, there's probably an amazing play, a fantastic win, but it's the energy of the crowd. It's the anticipation. It's giving your neighbor a high five, right? It's those moments where people are coming together that ultimately matter. And so our job is to have those connections. I will tell you, over the last several weeks in particular, I've responded to many, 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 many personal emails. I've responded to a lot of phone calls, speaking to our fans and hearing from them directly. Because as much as we love to hear from our fans when they're happy and they love things, we always are looking to get better. We're always looking to learn from them. And so if we're hearing things from them and they're less happy, we want to know, because that gives us an opportunity to continue to get better, or at the very least have a conversation about why certain things are the way that they are. And so that personal touch point is absolutely critical, and that's something that spans from, I'm generally wandering the ballpark every single day, and so literally engaging with fans probably about 81 times a year there, as well as all of the members of my staff who are in the stands, on the phones, and also just members of this community who are proud to call Baltimore home.
Catie, you referenced the premium club. A lot of fans would say that's not going to be for me, right? I'm not of those economic means. Is there still room with the Orioles for fans from any economic background to be a part of this, to experience the Orioles that way?
Of course there is. I think that's something where we're most proud of it. There was a reason that one of the very few large-scale changes we were able to introduce this year, there was a reason the value menu was that thing. We pushed that one through very, very quickly because I am a strong believer that we want to make sure that all of our fans feel welcome. We have very low-cost entry points from a ticketing standpoint. They probably aren't the ones buying season tickets, but that's okay. We want them to come whenever they can, whenever it makes sense for them and their families, and whenever the price point works for them. But I talk a lot. It's like you can bring a family of 4, have tickets for less than $15, have a beverage, and have a hot dog for $8. You're out of here for less than $100 for a family of 4. And that's with a drink, with a hot dog, and with a ticket. You can't even go to a movie theater for that. And so for us, again, yes, we are making investments in spaces that we believe there are going to be some business and higher net worth people who that is something they're happy with. Great. We have 43,000 other seats in the ballpark, many, many of which are accessible at price points that hopefully are within reach for the vast majority of fans, should this be something that they're interested in doing.
And you referenced the changes to game day, and I know that's been a hot button issue for a lot of people this year. Are the changes intended for the fans that are here, or are they going to be intended for people that wouldn't be coming to baseball games that you're trying to get into the stadium moving forward?
Both. They're for both. I mean, ultimately, the fun and challenge of running a stadium like this and getting to be part of presenting something is we have hopefully 40,000+ fans in the building, all of whom want something slightly different, right? So our job is to make sure, again, for fans who are here, who are keeping score in their seats, we want to make sure we're providing them with access to the stats and information that are going to be really most compelling to them. They have the ability to look at those replays, see the strike calls, things along those lines. For fans who are looking at us from the standpoint of maybe they don't know baseball yet, we want the opportunity for them to learn and have exposure. And for fans who have little kids who perhaps are slightly more distractible, we have the hot dog race, right? So you want to make sure you're creating things that are engaging with fans and meeting them where they're at versus just assuming there's a one-size-fits-all, because our fans aren't one-size-fits-all.
Catie, thank you very much for your time.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for coming out. I appreciate it.
Perfect.
Thank you very much.
Very engaging. Catie Griggs, the president of business operations for the Baltimore Orioles. Glenn and I had that chance earlier in the week, and we'll be using that quite a bit on social media and on PressBoxOnline.com for you to view it and share it and like it, okay? Mike Gibbons is going to join us in just a minute, but first let me tell you about the best place to watch every major sporting event, including every fight night and college and pro football game all season long. That's at Sports and Social inside Live Casino and Hotel. There's the 100-foot media wall, the great food and drink specials, and you're just steps away from the FanDuel Sportsbook. So make your plans now to check out Sports and Social at Live Casino and Hotel. And the 5th edition of the Maryland 5-Star happens October 16th to the 19th at Fair Hill in Cecil County. It's not just the Triple Crown of Equestrian, a world-class sporting event. It's also a celebration of the fall in Maryland, including ponies, the Corgi Cup, the Food and Wine Festival, great shopping, and more. Get your tickets now at maryland5star.us with the number 5. That's the Maryland 5-Star, 5th edition, coming up October 16th to 19th.
Feeling sluggish, unfocused, or not like yourself? It could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, we specialize in testosterone replacement therapy to help men boost energy, improve mood, and regain confidence. Our treatments, including testosterone cypionate, are safe, natural, and tailored to fit your lifestyle with weekly injections or pellet therapy. Get started today with a free testosterone test and feel the difference. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Game Day Men's Health, where men reclaim their game.
For fans of the Costas Inn, and who isn't, I have some great news. Now there's a second location to go along with 4100 North Point Boulevard. This one is at the Timonium OTB. This is Stan the Fan, and I have been a fan of the Costas Inn and Triantopoulos family for going on 30 years. They're open for lunch and dinner, same great Costas feel, same great menu and quality food you've been enjoying for well over 50 years. The exact address on your GPS is 2200 York Road, and their phone number at the new location is 667-406-1975. If you're new to the Costas experience, get ready for a real treat. All wrapped up in a new spacious dining room in Timonium at the OTB. If you want steamed crabs, you have them, and the full menu at 4100 North Point Boulevard. The number for reservations there at Costas, 410-477-1975.
Get ready, Baltimore. On Saturday, September 6th, the world's top pro cyclists return for the Maryland Cycling Classic, America's top pro road race. Cheer on elite men's and women's teams from around the globe as they battle it out on a brand new circuit through Charm City. Enjoy a free festival, fan zones, and all the action at Harbor Point and the Inner Harbor. Watch live on Maryland Public TV or join the live stream at marylandcyclingclassic.us. Don't miss the speed, the strategy, the spectacle. The Maryland Cycling Classic, September 6th in Baltimore.
This August, give your game day an upgrade at Live Casino. Enter to win an ultimate football package. We're giving away over $50,000 in game-changing prizes on Friday, August 29th. Earn entries daily for your chance to score a 100-inch TV, a state-of-the-art soundbar, and so much more. Don't sit on the sidelines. Make your play at Live Casino at Erndale Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
Make the most out of every day in your Toyota RAV4. Available in hybrid or gas-only models. A RAV4 can get you where you want to go in style. Check out buyatoyota.com for deals on new RAV4s from your local Toyota dealer today.
Coming back in here with Glenn and the other guy, Garrett, whatever his name is. You know who they are.
It's Griffin Bass, but this is Stan the Fan, and this is Friday, the 29th of August. We hope you enjoyed that interview with Catie Griggs. And again, if you go online at pressboxonline.com, you can see it, pass it along to friends, and share it and like it. All right. Joining us now is, do we have him on? We have the Director Emeritus of the Babe Ruth Museum, Mike Gibbons, to talk about yet another exciting event that the Babe Ruth Museum is behind. This time it's a 50-year reunion of the 1975 turnaround Baltimore Colts. Our guest is Michael Gibbons. Mike, how are you?
Stanley, I'm doing great. I'm actually sitting outside. It's a lovely day. I can't believe that Baltimore has a stretch of weather like this. But, yeah, we've got a big event coming up, a lot of old Baltimore Colts coming in. And this dates back to last October. I did a Zoom interview with Lydell Mitchell, Burt Jones, Joe Ehrman, and George Coons. And at some point in the conversation, Lydell says, you know, we are like no other organization, no other alumni, because we don't have a team. You know,
Right.
we don't have a city. So we would love to get reunited next year for our 50th anniversary of the 75 season. And I said, well, we're in the reuniting business.
Yeah.
So, and off we went. And so we have this event coming up on Saturday, September the 13th. It's a bull roast at Union Craft Brewery, which is right off of 41st Street out by Television Hill. And we've got about 20 or so Baltimore Colts coming in, including a lot of the big stars like Roger Carr and Freddie Cook and John Dutton and Joe Ehrman and Burt Jones, George Coons, Lydell Mitchell, and on and on and on. So it ought to be a very exciting event. And for fans back in the day, we were led in cheering in the upper deck by the Big Wheel and his assistant, the Spoke.
Yep.
and they will be at the event. The Colts band will be, which is now the Ravens band. They'll be out there, so it's pretty exciting.
What's the Big Wheel's real name? Leonard Barrier?
Yeah, something like Leonard is correct. I'd have to go back and look that up.
Okay.
But so
Big
we
Wheel.
had Big Wheel and Wild Bill Hagee. So
Yep.
they those were the heyday of fan cheering in Baltimore for
Yeah,
sure.
the Big Wheel actually predated Wild Bill Hagee, I believe.
Yeah, I think he did.
What kind of response are you getting to this so far?
Oh, it's been great. We really haven't gone public with this thing until now, feeling that a ticket surge would come from just the regular fan population.
Right.
So we've been reaching out to people we know, and our board of directors has been very active. Keith Cavanaugh, he's been helping us sell, and Joe DeBlasi. So a lot of good effort, and now we're coming to the airwaves, and we've the capacity for Union Craft is about 500 people. So tickets are moving, and we've got about 100 left. So I hope that people will get in touch with us and buy some tickets. Come on out and see Burt Jones, who I've been on the phone with him, and hopefully you're going to be on with him next week.
Yep,
but
I believe so.
when you talk to Burt, it's like being in the huddle.
Yep.
And he's the quarterback.
Yep.
So it's like you do what he says. So it's really been terrific.
Tell us how you came about partnering with the Union Craft Brewing Company as the location. And again, it's at 1700 West 41st Street. this Colts reunion next week from 3 to 6 on Saturday, the 13th of September. But how did you come about working with Union Craft?
Well, we wanted to do a bull roast. We think that the demographic, including the players themselves, pushes to the older side of things, and including me. And so we wanted to do something in the afternoon, and a bull roast made a lot of sense. We asked for bids from a number of venues, and Union Craft gave us the best bang for our buck. And, it's on the way to Memorial Stadium, if you know what I mean. So we're pretty excited to be there. They've got good parking, and it's a nice hall. So there'll be lots of interviews, silent, live auctions, chances for people to get autographs from the different players. But I have to say this is not an autograph session.
Okay.
It's not, this is a reunion of that team. But people will have an opportunity to get an autograph from every player. So, which people are interested in. That's the world we live in these days, autograph seekers.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that though. How do you differentiate that? In other words, in executing this, that it doesn't look like a typical autograph show.
Yeah. Well, we limit people to one autograph per player per person. And we make that known right up front, so that because at autograph sessions, people will come in with 5 or 10 things to get autographed, and that's part of the deal, and we understand that. But this is a reunion event primarily. People will have an opportunity to go up and chat with the Colt players, and they will be very accessible. But we will be conducting. We picked this up from when the Orioles used to do Fan Fest. There would be all these vendors and thousands of people, and the Orioles would announce when certain players would be at a certain location to sign autographs, and that's the way this will work. We will be making announcements in advance that 5 guys are going to be over in this space signing autographs, and if people want to do that, then they can go get in line. We'll be showing highlight films from that season. You'll hear Chuck Thompson welcome people to the radio broadcast at Memorial Stadium, and if you knew Chuck, it'll make you cry. So that's all good. Tickets are $125. This benefits the Babe Ruth Museum as we move towards another Sports Legends location. So this helps us keep on going to our ultimate goal, which is to get the history of Baltimore and Maryland sports back out on display in front of the public.
Michael, I know we're talking about a Colts reunion, but I'm just curious, the relationship with the Baltimore Orioles under new management, has that improved to where you're much happier with that relationship?
Yeah,
Have you been able to get David over there?
Yes, David has been to the museum, and I can't speak for him, but I think that we're in a much better standing than we were with the old regime. Catie Griggs was over within the past month. So people from the Orioles are starting to come over and just see what we're all about, because we've been the Orioles Museum since 1982 and have the collection, as you know. And so we're hoping to continue to work with the new ownership group and, get the history of the Orioles back out in front of the public.
All right. Let's recap and reassess and talk a little bit more about this event. It's next Saturday, a week from tomorrow. It's from two Saturdays. Two Saturdays. I'm sorry, Saturdays, September 13th.
That's right.
2 Saturdays from now, September 13th. And Tom Davis is going to be there, correct?
Yeah, Tom is going to be one of our MCs.
Right.
Bruce Cunningham, who was the PA announcer for the Ravens forever and ever, he'll be the PA announcer for this event. And Scott Garceau, who, along with you, really gives us a hand at these events, agreeing to be an MC. So, we're excited. There will be other media personalities there as well. So. A lot, and I even think that Governor Ehrlich is going to show up, and
that'd be great.
So
that'd be great.
Yeah, it's all good. Now, listen, one other thing: the Ravens have been terrific in cooperating and helping us with this. But the next day, Sunday, the 14th, the Baltimore Colts 1975 Baltimore Colts will be introduced before the game
to
great. The Ravens crowd.
That's
yeah,
great.
So
they played the Rams that day, I think.
No, they played the Browns.
They played the Browns. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of
right,
October.
This is the home opener,
yep.
And they'll be celebrating. The Ravens will be celebrating their 30th season. So you've got the 30th and the 50th, and it'll be a pretty special day for Baltimore football fans for sure.
All right, so we're only 5 years away from a reunion of the 2000 Ravens, I guess.
That's right. Yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll have to see if I'm around for that one.
Hey,
we'll just keep pushing.
Hey, again, it's at Union Craft Brewing Company, 1700 West 41st Street. It is 2 weeks from tomorrow, September 13th, from 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 6 o'clock. How can people get tickets, Michael?
They can go to our website, baberuthmuseum.org, baberuthmuseum.org, or call the museum at 410-727-1539. Extension 3033 gets you to Katie Dick, who is the event coordinator here. So either give us a call or go on our website, and you'll be able to get your tickets. And don't delay, because now that we've started
fast,
to publicly, they're moving, which is a good thing.
Okay.
You know, we're happy that people want to come out and say hi to Burt Jones and company.
All right. Again, 50th anniversary of the turnaround 1975 Baltimore Colts, a reunion at Union Craft Brewing Company. Thanks, Michael Gibbons.
All right, Stanley. Talk to you soon.
Okay. We're going to make our connection with Victor Figueroa of the Baltimore Orioles organization, playing for the Aberdeen IronBirds. Right now, I'll tell you that there's a new print edition of Press Box available now. On the cover, both Smoker profiles Ravens running back Derrick Henry and how his success after 30 has proved he's a unicorn at the position. Also, inside, we profile college football players from the teams all across the state. You can find the new issue all throughout the region with some new pickup locations for this issue, and you can read it all at PressBoxOnline.com. Stan the Fan sitting in for Glenn Clark today. It's been a terrific show. We aired our 30-minute interview with Catie Griggs, Director of Business Operations of the Orioles. You just heard Mike Gibbons. Joining us now is one of the newest members of Baltimore Orioles organization, young first baseman, new to the East Coast. That's Victor Figueroa. Victor, thank you very much for joining us. I'm Stan the Fan, and Griffin Bass you've talked to a couple times off the air. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Stan. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing great, and we thank you for making time for us today. Victor, tell us, first of all, what was it like because you're a West Coast kid, drafted by the Padres, and now all of a sudden they come in, July 31st and tell you, hey, you've just been traded to the Baltimore Orioles.
Yeah, so it was an interesting process, of course, because I'm actually from Tampa, Florida. I got drafted from a school called Florida Southwestern in Fort Myers, Florida, and going to the West Coast for the first time, I already thought that was life-changing enough, knowing that I'm going to be playing professional baseball in a place that I'm all too unfamiliar with. But after learning that I'm going back to the East Coast where, I'm closer to my family and my support group, I just saw it as another amazing opportunity to take my career to the next step.
I apologize. You were, of course, born in Port Richey, right? Port Richey, Florida?
Yeah.
Okay.
Newport Richey, Florida.
Newport Richey, Florida. Okay. What was it like when you walked into your new locker room? In other words, with the IronBirds?
Yeah, it was an amazing welcome that they gave me. All the guys came up to me, introduced themselves, and the staff included. Everyone already kind of knew my name and knew what was going on because of the whole trade deadline. So everyone was a little familiar with me, but they were still super welcoming, and everyone just greeted me like another teammate and just showed me the ropes. So it was a great first couple of days.
Now, down in Florida, I'm sure you've probably eaten some stone crabs, but have you had any Maryland steam crabs yet?
No, I have not. I have not had that opportunity, but I know that I'll probably try it one of these days because, that's something in the locker room that most of the guys encouraged me to try out.
Victor, did it help at all? Obviously, you said the clubhouse was welcoming, but did it help the fact that there was a package of 6 different guys coming over from San Diego? So that there was you weren't completely alone coming over here.
No, I was not alone, man. We come as like a little army. You don't really see a lot of 6-player trades going on, so it's nice to hear that 4 of those guys within the trade were in the low A Lake Elsinore team with me. So when we all got the news, we all kind of got into the same car and we're like, you know what, let's go into our new lives together. Like, we're gonna do this together. We're all boys. It just kind of made that connection of us for us stronger.
Tell us a little bit about the 3 other guys that you played with at Lake Elsinore.
Yeah, so I was with Boston Bateman, Cobb Hightower, and Tanner Smith. So those 3 guys, we've been in Lake Elsinore from, if not from the beginning of the season, some of us got caught up, including myself, during the season. But within the first couple months, we've all been playing together and playing side by side. So we're all too familiar when it comes to our faces and our names.
Tell us a little bit about Boston Bateman. He's the name, the biggest name that came over in the trade.
Is he the biggest guy too?
He's the biggest guy too. Yeah, he's 6'8", I think, right?
Yeah, he is 6'8". There's nothing small about that guy, and everything that they say in the media, he can deliver. That man can deliver, and I know that he has a promising future. He's a hard worker and a great guy. He was actually my roommate when we were back in Lake Elsinore. We were living together throughout that time, so I got a chance to know him on a personal level, and he's just an overall amazing human being.
What was it? What's the adjustment been like? Obviously, you were having a really stellar year this is your first year of pro ball. You were having a really stellar year with the Padres, and then the Orioles immediately bump you up to high A. What's that adjustment been like for you, jumping up a level?
I want to say it has been a really interesting step for me because you never go into the season with the expectations of getting moved from one team to another, then coming with that team you also get promoted. So going into that, I just try to stay to my game, but also realizing that being in the higher levels, there's going to be different styles of pitching, and there's a lot more changes. The game is faster, it's cleaner. So in doing so, I just try to make sure, how do I clean up my game and how can I get better throughout the time I am, because I want to show that not only do I belong here, but I have a chance to stand out in this level.
Victor, tell me a little bit about what you think you need to work on right now. What are the weaker parts of your game right now? It's obvious you know how to hit pretty well, but tell us what you think you need to work on.
I want to be a more versatile defender. I want to say, because obviously, with my frame, I'm the prototypical first baseman that hits for power and can deliver big RBIs throughout the season. But going into this off season, I really feel like I can work on my versatility when it comes to, for one, my body, and then for 2, being able to play other key positions like maybe a corner outfield. So the more versatility a player has, the more value they can bring to themselves and to a team. So if I can be a more versatile player, that's where I definitely want to strive for.
I did some homework last night on you, but this morning when I got in, Griffin told me that your dad, who unfortunately passed away very young, was also a prospect and played in the Dodger organization, I believe?
Yes.
I was curious, kind of just how much that kind of influenced you, in your baseball career.
Yeah.
And sorry for your loss, by the way, as well. But just trying to follow in your dad's footsteps.
Yeah, thank you guys for the condolences. Everyone, they have a role model growing up. For me, it was my father, because whenever I was young, learning into a game, you always want somebody that you want to look up to and somebody that you want to kind of mold yourself into becoming, so that you're in a successful path. And for me, my father was very important to me, because knowing that he accomplished a dream that many few people have, which is to be able to play professional baseball. And not only that, he was doing it to a good extent and at a good level. I wanted to make sure that I can follow up that legacy and that I can, finish the job that he couldn't finish, unfortunately, with his illness. So, hopefully going forward, I just want to become the best player that I can be and be the best player that I know he wants me to be.
when times get tough, and I know you haven't hit the ball the way you'd like to be hitting the ball right now at higher level A ball, do you sort of have this relationship with your dad still where that drives you a little bit to get through some tough times?
Yeah, it does, because you got to realize that even my dad's career, I've seen that he's had his own sense of adversity, and just going through that and talking to my support system, which is like my mom and my family and even like my lovely girlfriend. When we talk to each other, we tell stories that throughout that adversity, how do we overcome it? And in my dad's case, when he was facing his adversity, he used that as motivation for the following off season so that he can become more prepared. So my mindset now is, how can I see this adversity and use it as a motivation so that the next time I have the opportunity, I'll be even more prepared. And that's what I've been doing. So that's how it's been progressing in my career.
I've got one more question for you, Victor. When you come to a new organization like the Orioles, are they just sort of standing by and watching you perform, or did they come in with some stuff that they thought you needed to work on? In other words, how is that process going? Are they taking a wait-and-see attitude and maybe give you instruction during the off season what you need to work on, or are they working with you now?
So when I first got to the organization, it was more so of, hey, like, they're not all familiar with me, since everything was from videos, from word of mouth. Like it was way more of like a let the kids play attitude going into it, so like they could warm up to me and see, hey, how can we help him? Let's take a step back and see how he plays, and then let's give him a couple key points throughout his progression here. And moving forward, our staff they've been very more openly on me trying new things and just trying to find a new mental approach so that I could get well adapted with the new level. And in doing so, I've been maturing and I've been adjusting way better. And throughout this off season, I'll stay in communications with them to see how can I be more prepared for the next upcoming season.
And another one, I was just more curious about your kind of baseball path here. It seems like kind of a unique path where you started at the Division I level with Mississippi Valley State, and then you already mentioned it, going down to JUCO ball at Florida Southwestern, and then getting drafted. What was that like, playing at those different levels, and how did those help you in your baseball journey here?
I think I've had one of the more crazier paths to the point of the draft, because coming out of high school, I was originally committed to the university, the Florida International University. And in doing so, there was a recent coaching change, and that made me lean towards another school, which was Mississippi Valley State, because that was my only other offer going out of high school. So in going into Mississippi Valley State, I treated that as, hey, I'm going to try to do my best so that I can stand out and see what happens when I stand out. I stood out. I decided to take the JUCO route because not a lot of mid-majors wanted to give me what I thought I was valued for and what I knew I could play to my potential for. So I thought the JUCO route was great, and the coaching staff there was telling me that I was going to get great opportunities and that I could make a name for myself there, which I did. I went into the JUCO route, and that was very much the birthplace of where I knew that baseball was going to be in my next many years, and doing so going into the draft. I took every step as a learning step and as a way that I know that how much I'm committed to the game.
All right.
Good stuff. And just to kind of get to know you a little bit better, Victor. Well, outside baseball, what else are you up to? Any hobbies, like on an off day? What might that look like for Victor?
Man, on an off day, this actually has a lot to do with the trade, because going back to the East Coast, my girlfriend, she actually lives in New Jersey, and now we're in Maryland. So
this has kind of worked out good
really
for you,
great that I have the opportunity to drive to New Jersey. Get myself a pork roll, just enjoy like the normal life with the people that I love.
All right,
awesome.
that sounds fantastic.
Where can people find you on social? Twitter, Instagram, any of those things?
Yeah, you can find me at Victor Figgy 56 on Instagram and Twitter. I'm just trying to make a name for myself here, and hopefully you guys will keep hearing about me within the next upcoming years.
Certainly hope so too.
We'd love to have you back on sometime. All right.
Oh, 100%. Thank you guys for the opportunity.
All right. Thank you, Victor. All right. There you have it. Let me get one more piece of business out of the way, and that is a reminder that former Oriole pitcher Ross Grimsley, Press Box's Luke Jackson, and myself will be talking baseball with you normally every Monday, but we're going to try and accomplish that this Tuesday this week because it's Labor Day on Monday. You can
can't
watch,
work on Labor Day, Stan?
It's Labor Day.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's really sacrilegious almost.
What, you got a fantasy draft? I know people like to do fantasy drafts on Labor Day.
I'm not doing my I'm not doing any fantasy. I gave up fantasy football.
Oh, you did?
For Lent. Yeah. You can
You
watch the
celebrate Lent.
shows live
Or observe Lent.
at facebook.com/PressBoxSports. And if you miss them live, you can check them out on youtube.com/PressBoxOnline or PressBoxOnline.com/video. As always, my shows are brought to you by the Costas Inn and the all-new Costas Inn over there at Timonium, now open in the grandstand right next to the OTB at Timonium. When we get back, we're going to take a little time out. Mr. Clark is going to take over.
Who?
Mr. Clark.
Who is that?
Mr. Glenn Clark, because it is, after all, GCR. We'll talk to him when we get back. For fans of the Costas Inn, and who isn't, I have some great news. Now there's a second location to go along with 4100 North Point Boulevard. This one is at the Timonium OTB. This is Stan the Fan, and I have been a fan of the Costas Inn and Triantafalo's family for going on 30 years. They're open for lunch and dinner, same great Costas feel, same great menu and quality food you've been enjoying for well over 50 years. The exact address on your GPS is 2200 York Road, and their phone number at the new location is 667-406-1970. If you're new to the Costas experience, get ready for a real treat. All wrapped up in a new spacious dining room in Timonium at the OTB. If you want steamed crabs, you have them, and the full menu at 4100 North Point Boulevard. The number for reservations there at Costas, 410-477-1975.
This August, give your game day an upgrade at Live Casino. Enter to win an ultimate football package. We're giving away over $50,000 in game-changing prizes on Friday, August 29th. Earn entries daily for your chance to score a 100-inch TV, a state-of-the-art soundbar, and so much more. Don't sit on the sidelines. Make your play at Live Casino at Erndale Mills. Must be 21. Please play responsibly. For help, visit mdgamblinghelp.org or call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Looking for Baltimore's premier waterfront dining experience? Head to Nick's Fish House. Enjoy crabs all year long, plus happy hour Monday through Thursday from 3 to 6. Planning a celebration? From rehearsal dinners to corporate crab feasts, Nick's is the spot to make it unforgettable. And the fun doesn't stop there. Live music fills the air every Thursday through Sunday. Check out the full lineup at nicksfishhouse.com. Nick's, it's where Baltimore comes to eat, drink, and play by the water.
Gambling can be a fun and entertaining experience, but there are risks involved. If you're planning on betting on the game at the casino or on your phone or computer, know your limit, stay within it. Set a budget and a time to stop. Remember, gambling isn't a financial solution, and it doesn't mix well with alcohol or drugs. Know the risks and have a plan before you begin gambling. For free and confidential services, call 1-800-GAMBLER 24/7 or go to helpmygamblingproblem.org.
The latest edition of Press Box is available now. On the cover, Bo Smolko profiles Ravens running back Derrick Henry and how the football legend has proven to be a unicorn at the position with the success that he's found after the age of 30. Also inside, Brandon Schwartzberg looks at Kobe Mayo's push to find rhythm at the big league level. And we mark the start of the college football season by meeting players from all 4 FBS and FCS programs throughout the state. Press Box is available for free at over 500 locations throughout the region, including 60 Royal Farm stores. Or you can read the entire issue online at PressBoxOnline.com, where you can also find great betting advice and the best daily coverage of the Orioles, Ravens, and Terps.
Feeling sluggish, unfocused, or not like yourself? It could be low testosterone. At Game Day Men's Health, we specialize in testosterone replacement therapy to help men boost energy, improve mood, and regain confidence. Our treatments, including testosterone cypionate, are safe, natural, and tailored to fit your lifestyle with weekly injections or pellet therapy. Get started today with a free testosterone test and feel the difference. GameDayMen'sHealth.com. Game Day Men's Health, where men reclaim their game.
Contrary to what some people believe, I actually like this guy when he sleeps. Glenn Clark, talking sports.
Stan was like, I'm out. See ya.
No, I wasn't leaving. I was planning to switch. I just said we'd be back behind the mic.
Oh, no. I'm already set up here. I'm good.
Where the hell were you?
Not sleeping. I know that much. Thank you to you guys for guiding us through the last hour or so.
Are we back on?
Yes, we're doing the show now.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Thank you to you guys for doing that. For those of you that are not aware, I had my first show at WBAL radio today, and I had been alluding in the last couple of weeks to the fact that there was going to be a new radio home. And I already got the text this morning. They said, wait, does that mean you're not doing it? Like, no, not at all. We'll still be doing this every day. I'm still very much here at Pressbox, and it's much like when I was over at 105.7. This is just something I'll be doing from time to time, and there'll be some scheduled changes because of it. There'll be some different things that come from it, but no, that's just on the side thing, and enjoy being there. Excited about it, but we will continue to do this.
What are you talking about over there?
Talked about Westmore for an hour this morning.
Oh, you love Westmore.
An hour of Westmore. That's what I'll be doing. I'll be on the morning show on Monday, 5:30 a.m. start for the morning show. Brian Neiman and I will be doing the morning show.
I can't wait to hear about
I have to
those.
report to the studio at 4:30 a.m. on Monday. I've done a lot of morning radio in my life, lots of it. I have never been there at 4:30 a.m. in my life.
Well, you will be.
Oh, I will be. What time do you think when I was at WNST, what time do you think Drew and I showed up to the studio, Stan?
For the 6 o'clock
For the
show?
we started our show at 6 o'clock.
5:58.
If we were lucky. You think there weren't times where I rolled in at 6 and Drew rolled in at 6:03? You think there weren't? Well, we know we're taking a
Chell run the show? Like, how's...
No, back in the day, there was always the network update at the top of the hour.
Okay.
So we knew we were covered through like 6:02. So as long as I was in by 6 o'clock, then I could fire the local break that followed the network update, and then Drew would hit. Sometimes it wouldn't be Drew hitting it. Drew always played.
I want to find one of these shows so bad.
What's that?
I want to find one of these.
Oh
OG
man,
Drew
it
and Glenn
was.
shows.
Oh boy, it was a time. Drew always played the Ray Charles version of America the Beautiful. No, that was Bob. What did Drew? Drew played Raised on the Radio by the Ravens. That's what he played. Rob Fahey, the legend Rob Fahey, and the Ravens had a song called Raised on the Radio, which was from Fast Times on Ridgemont High. Mm-hmm. And that was what Drew played every day to start the show. And so we had the network update. We had the whatever it was, whether we were Fox or NBC, whatever we were at the time. And then that would go to about 6:02. And then we had about 3 minutes of commercials after that. And
so
then
you had that 5-minute buffer.
Oh, Drew played the whole song. Drew didn't play like the way most of us did that worked in sports radio.
The whole soundtrack.
Right. He did the whole scene with Phoebe Cates, did the whole thing. Most of us would play like the first, maybe the verse and like the hook up to that, and then you'd come in and start the show. Drew played the entire song, and so
by as much time as possible.
6:08 maybe is when we actually started the show. 4:30 a.m. I got to be in at 4:30 on Monday. So,
well, congratulations.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Wait to find out if I'm still employed if I show up at 4:30 on Monday morning or not. Hey, shout out Towson football.
Oh yeah, hey, the true freshman Insdorf. We got the guy.
Yeah, we were debating between whether it was going to be Sean Brown or Nathan Ken. As it turns out, the entire time,
right before the game, Luke's like, or he didn't hear the Shinnick interview live, so he was like, did he say the QB is? I was like, no, but it's going to be Brown or Ken.
Sure wasn't.
And how about a shout out to the Green Bay Packers?
Oh yeah,
and Jerry Jones for doing such a great job.
What a great businessman.
Why are we allowed to talk about the former president's mental decline, but nobody has any interest in talking about the obvious
decline of Jerry
And
Jones.
It's not even that he made the trade, because it's listen to him.
Yeah.
Listen to him.
You just don't understand the art of the deal.
he doesn't know what he's doing. He's just spouting words, and it's like watching. Did you ever watch Succession on HBO, Stan?
No.
Succession was great.
I know
it was tremendous, and Brian Cox, who's brilliant, played the CEO of. He was supposed to be Rupert Murdoch. Yeah. And the bit was that his 3 kids just could never get their S together to line up how they were going to take over the company.
Right.
And as much as it was comedic, it's a realization of like this is real. This happens where Jerry Jones has enough faculties left to know he doesn't want to give up control.
Right.
Right. He thinks if I do that, then I'm going to die. You know, like that. I want to do this until I die. And no one, like they could all get together. Everyone else involved could go together and say, we need to come up with a strategy. We need to come up with a plan. We're going to run the show. Here's going to be the point person. But it never works that way because one person involved is like, well, if I don't go along with it, then I could have all the power to myself.
Right.
And if I just suck up to Mr. Jones and say, your kids are trying to knife you in the back, then I suddenly get all the control, and then you're left with this. And so, bully for the Packers, you know, we talked about it on Wednesday. Would you be willing to trade 2 first-round picks for Micah Parsons? Yeah, I mean, now I guess this exchange would be like 2 first-round picks and.
Well, we throw in a Jabo.
It's really the money that they would have had to come up with. Would they have been able to work?
Well, if they could have gotten a deal done with Lamar, you know, like there's definitely a bunch of money. And they cleared some money with the Hamilton extension. So could they have gotten an extension done with Lamar? That probably would have free. And presumably, if you went to him and said, "Hey, by the way, like we can get Micah Parsons," then maybe Lamar is a little bit more inclined to.
Michael Parsons.
Yeah, Michael. He did call him Michael in that press conference
several times.
Jesus Christ, that was brutal, man. You're watching an old man, and I'm not trying to be ageist. I'm not trying to be, but you can tell when people are losing their faculties.
Yeah,
and
he's declining.
Jerry Jones is unquestionably.
But he wears the suit every day.
Right, yeah. He's unquestionably declining. And so thank God I'm not a Cowboys fan, right? Like, imagine if that was.
My buddy, he was a lifelong Cowboys fan, he texted like all of us, or no, actually, sorry, he put it on his Instagram story. He said he tagged all of us that are Ravens fans, and he said, "Hey guys, I'm joining you this season."
Yeah, on board. I can't do it anymore. I don't blame him, man. Like it's just not going to get better. It's not going to get better until there's different leadership in place.
Yeah.
What are you up to this weekend?
Watching games late night.
Yeah, tonight's at 10 o'clock. Tomorrow's at 9 o'clock, right?
It's 7.
Yeah, and then
7.
Tomorrow's
oh yeah, because it's a Fox game. That's right. Tomorrow's a Fox game.
Right.
Yeah.
7 and then 4 on Sunday.
Yeah. So tonight's the only late night game.
And then what's Friday? Monday is like a 6 o'clock game.
Because it's a holiday. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. So this is probably like
I think Tuesday is a late night.
The only other late night.
And then Wednesday I think is an afternoon game.
You've got the schedule right behind you, Griffin. What are you?
I am looking. I'm looking at it. Yeah, it's 6:40 on Monday because they're in San Diego,
right.
And then 9:40, 4:10.
Yeah, so there's only of all the West Coast trips, this is one of the least intrusive West Coast trips that the Orioles will ever have.
So I stayed up last night till 2 o'clock in the morning
watching the Tommy Paul match.
Yeah,
he tried.
And it was.
Did he win?
I got to be honest.
But
I was watching it. It started much earlier than some of the prime matches, so I kept thinking, well, I'll watch this until the big match comes on, and it turned out that was the big match.
One. Yeah, they put Coco on first,
and I kept watching other stuff because it was it really was boring tennis. But then it got very compelling after he didn't close it out.
It was weird too. He went down a break. He going up 2-0, went down a break in the third, then broke back, then went down another break and broke. You're just like,
and they kept breaking each other's serves. It was really
and there was no energy.
Was two guys that had no chance to win the tournament.
Correct. And Tommy Paul, who's always been this like sort of petulant. They were just talking about it on the broadcast last night how he has a history of partying and not taking tennis seriously. And you could actually hear his coach at one point during the match say, "You're not
his coach, the guy with the ruddy."
And I don't remember.
I realized Tommy Paul was cool.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's cool. He's screaming at his box, and his coach fires back like, "No, I am telling you that. You're not listening."
I didn't hear that.
It was really fun. Well, and the building was empty.
Yeah.
Because it was, after midnight, and so you could hear everything they were saying, all of the exchanges. Yeah, I watched a good bit, but I gave up. I gave up after in the fourth set. I just said I can't ride this thing.
It turned out to be compelling. It was very entertaining.
A lot of controversy every year about this is not good for anybody involved to have tennis being played until 2 a.m. Like it's not a good thing, and we gotta fix that somehow. But
I kind of like it. It's now with baseball
you stay
games
2 a.m. every night.
with baseball games ending pretty quickly in extra innings. This is one of the only things that can go on.
You didn't watch Nebraska-Cincinnati last night, Stan? You didn't flip over to
Dylan
see
Raiola?
Pat Mahomes Jr.?
Oh, yeah.
They played it in Kansas City so that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift could go to the Cincinnati game.
I saw someone call Dylan Raiola. This guy's better. He's a better method actor than Daniel Day-Lewis.
Well,
is that the smallest crowd Taylor Swift
has
probably
probably the case. No, the Towson game actually got really interesting. So I was at
that third quarter was
John Colson and I were at the Black Keys Gary Clark Jr. show at Merriweather last night. But this is how much I was into it. I didn't put the tennis on my phone. I put the Towson game on my phone, and it got to 13-7 early in the fourth quarter, and they were faced with 3rd and 20. And I was
God, that play was ridiculous.
Oh no, have you seen this? Man. It's 3rd and 20. They were up 13-0.
Right.
Norfolk State goes down and scores a touchdown. They've got the momentum. They're at home. It's Michael Vick's first game as the coach.
They almost turned it over the play before.
Yeah,
this.
one play
before. I didn't even realize Vick was coaching.
Yeah, he's the coach of Norfolk State now. And one play before, it looked like it was going to be an interception. Kid just dropped it. Just dropped it. So all of the momentum is now the other way. And you're like, oh, no. This is not a great way to open the season. They've got to go to Maryland in 2 weeks. Did you just search Insdorf? Because I think if you just search Insdorf, you can come up with it. So 3rd and 20, and it's worse than that because Insdorf is rolling to his right, who's Towson's freshman quarterback that they started. He's rolling to his right and going nowhere. And it's just going to be a turnover, or it's just going to be a punt situation, or I think it would have been a 50-plus yard field goal. And he just chucks the ball downfield. And it turns out he has a wide-open receiver in the end zone. They get a touchdown, they get a quick defensive stop, and they end up winning comfortably. But for a minute there, it was dicey. It was dicey. So kudos to Towson. I know it's up there because I found it somewhere last night, but whatever. That's what it is. All right. Appreciate it. You want to do a tidbit and tubular?
Yeah.
Stan, if you want to stay, you can stay. If you want to roll.
I'm going to roll today.
And we're going to talk to Keyon Martin before we get out of here.
I know you've got
Ravens.
Keyon Martin. That's an amazing accomplishment that 3
really cool story. He obviously Ruben Lowry and of course Jay Higgins, the linebacker, all 3 undrafted free agents who will be part of the Ravens 53-man roster, and who knows, it means at least one of them will probably have a chance to contribute.
Has anybody picked up Armour Davis yet?
Yeah, Tennessee.
Tennessee
picked up Jalen Armour.
They got a good player.
They did. And Bo Braid went to the Giants.
Okay. Project Game Day.
Yes.
First game. Are you doing it?
We'll be doing it, and we'll be making some more details about that.
Okay.
And but we will be doing a form of Project Game Day this season, so looking forward to that as well.
All right.
Stan, who's your number 1 in the power rankings?
Who's number 1 in the power rankings?
I guess it's obvious.
I think Milwaukee's still going to be number 1 come Monday.
There you go.
But it's really bunched up the next
6,
10, 11
7,
teams. I mean, all of a sudden the Mets and the Yankees.
Mets have pitching all of a sudden,
Yeah. I'm interested to see the Red Sox are bringing up this guy, Peyton Tolley tonight.
Yeah, Toll?
You never heard? Oh, this guy is, he's supposed to be unbelievable.
And he's facing Paul Skeens.
They're bringing him up from, he briefly pitched at AAA. He pitched at A-ball this year, then went to AA, I think Portland, and now he's pitched about 3 or 4 times for, so he's now their 4th starter behind Bayo, Garrett Crochet, and Giolito. W'hat's that?
6'6", 250.
Yeah.
Oh, they drafted him in round 2 last year.
He gets a 46% whiff rate or something like that in the minors.
That looks right.
Unbelievable. Yeah. And then when is the Mets guy going to pitch? Tonga?
Oh, tonight.
Has he pitched yet?
I think tonight. Tonight as well. Yeah. I don't know who they're facing, but
there's some real interesting little nooks and crannies going on with a couple of these teams right now. I mean, the Red Sox look as dangerous as anybody right now.
And but a big matchup is Dean Kramer tries to take down Robbie Ray tonight, too, on Apple TV+.
Robbie Ray, who I won on the Orioles for Rutschman.
For Rutschman?
Yeah. Sure. Either Webb or Robbie Ray.
Maybe both.
All right. How about Carl Schwarber to the Orioles?
I'd take Kyle Schwarber in a heartbeat, but I don't see that.
Speaking of Kyle Schwarber, the 21st player
see, buddy.
in MLB history to hit four home runs in a game. Should have had 5, but he just choked. I mean, he's just bad, obviously. He choked in the last inning. Couldn't get a home run off a position player. How many of the other 4 home run players in a game? There were 2 others this year, so you should at least get those.
I don't remember the ones this year. I remember Mike Cameron for sure doing it.
All right, Mike Cameron was in 2002. All right, so Schwarber's the 9th guy to do it this millennium. So how many of the other? You got Mike Cameron.
You want me to name
7 guys?
Okay,
have done it this millennium.
Yeah, Sean Green guy. I thought
Cameron and Green both in 2002.
Josh Hamilton.
Of course, Josh Hamilton.
I feel like we did this. I was at the Josh
Hamilton game. Mike Schmidt did it once.
Well, he's saying he wants them from this century.
Yeah. Well, Mike Schmidt counts. We can count. If Stan wants to stick around.
From post 2000s.
Well, because Glenn doesn't want to guess 20 players for some reason.
I don't want to be here all day. I've been working so hard here. I've already been here for. Who did it this year?
Yeah, who did it this year? Get the guys that did it this year.
I don't know why I don't remember who did it this year. Oh, the Oakland guy, Kurtz.
Yep.
Kurtz did it. Yeah, because he had the greatest game of all. Nick Kurtz.
Where's he from?
I don't know.
He's from Lancaster.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Who was the other one?
He went to, I don't know, my neighbor or something. He went to the same high school that they went to.
How about that?
Central.
You basically hit 4 home runs in a game.
Basically.
I saw they're going to play games in Vegas next summer. I did see that.
Really? At the minor league park?
Yes, they're going to play at the minor league park.
Is that better?
Who is the other one?
Did it on April 26th this year. And it was the first time we had a 4 home run game since 2017, also done by a Diamondback.
Oh, they're both Diamondbacks. So who did it? Eugenio.
Yep,
Eugenio. I don't remember that.
4 home run game. They lost to Atlanta.
Oh, God. Oh, maybe I do remember that. I think we might have done a tidbit based around that.
Yeah. So someone had a good. They were like the Braves. So after last night, because the Phillies were playing the Braves.
Okay.
So they said after last night, they said the Braves fall to 500 on the year when an opposing player hits 4 home runs against them.
It's pretty funny. And then
so 2017, there were 2 guys.
2017, and it was a Diamondback.
Yeah, one of them was a Diamondback. He was actually an answer to our tidbit.
JD Martinez.
Yeah, JD
okay.
Martinez.
I don't remember the.
Scooter Gennett, of course.
Oh right, Scooter Gennett.
Cincinnati Reds. Hopefully that was when they were wearing the cutoff jersey.
Tell me if I have this right. Did Mark Whitten once hit 4 home runs in a game?
He did, yeah.
Thought so.
1993.
I do believe I remember that.
St. Louis Cardinals.
I remember that.
The only other guy or a guy in 2003 had 4 home runs. Only other guy on this side of 2000.
It's for who?
The Toronto Blue Jays.
Delgado.
Yep, Carlos Delgado. Towards the end of the year, September 25th of 03. So those are the 9 guys to do it on this side. But yeah, Schmitty did it. Willie Mays, Bob Horner, Rocky Calavito against the Orioles in 1959. Gil Hodges, Chuck Klein, Lou Gehrig, and then Pat Delahanty. These are the guys that did it in the 1800s. Going back, Bobby Lowe was the first to ever do it.
Oh right. Oh, Bobby Lowe.
Yeah, and he played for the Boston Beaneaters.
Everybody knows that. The Brooklyn Bridegrooms is what I was going to guess. All right, very good. Do we need to thank anybody?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
We've covered all our bases
Here's
here.
what's coming up tubular wise this weekend. Orioles Giants, as we were talking about tonight. Apple TV Plus 10:15 for Dean Kramer and Robbie Ray. Is it even worth me pulling up the illegal stream for this, or can I just check in on?
Shoot, I think I canceled my Apple TV.
Yeah,
as well.
I don't have an Apple TV currently.
Yeah, Colorado plays tonight, so you're watching that anyway.
Oh yeah, obviously that's what I'm watching tonight, and not tennis. ESPN Plus, Loyola Penn Soccer Night at 7, Niagara UMBC at 7, Big Ten Network Plus Bucknell Maryland Soccer at 7:30. U.S. Open coverage is underway on ESPN. It'll move to ESPN2 at 6. Francis Tiafoe again on the grandstand today against Jan-Lennard Struff.
They disrespecting Francis like this.
Third match on the grandstand today. Tomorrow, Orioles Giants 7:15 on Fox. By the way, tonight it is Dean Kramer, Robbie Ray. Tomorrow, Trevor Rogers against TBD, apparently. Local college football tomorrow.
Tristan Beck. I don't know who that is.
Sure. Big Ten Network for Florida Atlantic and Maryland at noon. CBS Sports Network for VMI and Navy at noon. ESPN Plus for Morgan, South Alabama at 7. U.S. Open coverage is entirely on ESPN2 tomorrow with college football on ESPN, starting with the final college game day ever for Lee Corso tomorrow morning. And then ESPN actually doesn't really have good games tomorrow. They've got Georgia, but they're playing Marshall. Fox obviously has the big one, Texas, Ohio State tomorrow at noon. ABC has Alabama, Florida State at 3:30, LSU, Clemson at 7:30. Everything else, go to glennclarkradio.com. And then Sunday, Tomo Sagano and Justin Verlander, 4:05 on Masson 2. U.S. Open coverage starts on ESPN, then moves to ABC at 3 and ESPN2 at 6. Anything non-sports that stands out?
No.
Cool. What's going on with that?
Well, they know it's a big fantasy football weekend.
That is true. Everybody's watching the U.S. Open.
Everyone's either
That's
watching college football or drafting
No,
fantasy
U.S. Open.
teams.
That's what everybody's watching. All right. Very good. Thanks today to Stan and Griffin. Thanks also to Catie Griggs. Thanks to Michael Gibbons. Thanks to
Victor Figueroa.
I was about to call him Nelson Figueroa, but that's not who it was
maybe we
whatsoever.
can see what he thinks. Maybe he changes his name.
And thanks to Keyon Martin, who you're about to hear from. We'll get it all up in the greatest hits section of the
Galveston.
We gotta do something. No, if that's what you're doing, we're just going back to archives. That's what we're doing. All right, we're either coming up with something or we're going. You got to go back to go
Moose. He's got a big match coming up.
Sure, but that one was kind of a part-time. We need to come up with something
that
you hear on the show during the week, and you're like, that could make a fun close. But you're just not. You got to do better. Got to do better.
Michael Parsons? Should I do that?
Michael Parsons. Michael. I don't think he said Michael Parsons. I think he just said Michael.
Yeah, you're right. I guess.
He just called him Michael. Tab at glennclarkradio.com. We will be off on Monday, so we'll be back on Tuesday, and I have no idea what we'll be doing on Tuesday. It's a long time away from now. Stuff and things on Tuesday. Thanks to everybody at PressBox, all of our great sponsors and partners. Thanks to Griffin at Griffin_Bass. Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Glenn Clark Radio. Have a great weekend. Go Birds. Go Maryland football. Navy, Morgan, the whole deal. Duke sucks. We wrap up today's show. I had the opportunity to catch up. Very special story. This young man makes the Baltimore Ravens roster as an undrafted free agent. Keyon Martin, right here on GCR.
Well, it's a real pleasure to be joined now here on GCR by a young man who got some pretty life-changing news this week as he found out he made the Ravens' 53-man roster. He is Keyon Martin, and he is with us now here on GCR. Keyon, it's Glenn. It's great to chat with you, man. Thank you for taking the time, and congratulations to you.
Thank you. No problem.
Hey, Keyon, there was a moment that Ruben, we heard about this moment this week. The two of you, everything you've been through, you both knew. There was like a hug that was shared, and it was kind of cinematic. Can you take me through that and like what that was all about?
Yeah, I could. So they wanted me to go upstairs so they can get the moment to when I called my mom. So when I was walking up the stairs, I seen Ruben walking down the stairs, and I was just like, "Did you like? 'Cause you don't nobody just go up there." So I'm like, "You must be up there for the same reason I'm coming up there." But I ain't even say nothing. I just looked, and I was like, and he was like, and I just like we just gave each other a hug.
Man.
And we were just so like it was just a great moment for the both of us.
You know, the way that Ruben described it, like, did you guys ever think that you were competing against each other? Like, had you ever had talks like, man, there might only be room for one of us? Or, like what was that like in the weeks leading up?
I mean, we always knew because, I mean, we both coming in, we both were playing nickel. So, I mean, we knew that they wasn't going to keep both of us at nickel. So both coming in, we both knew that we had to compete against each other, but it was always just great competition. Like I will come to him and ask him some stuff, and he'll help me, and he'll come to me and ask me stuff, and like I'll help him because at the end of the day, yeah, we both wanna be on this team, but if we're gonna win a job, we're gonna win a job because we just flat out won the job, not because that it was just a toxic relationship or I don't want to see, because like I still want to see him succeed. Every time he make a play, I'm the first one to run up. When he had his interception in Dallas Cowboys, I almost tackled him. Because I just knew how much work he put in, and just to have the moments, that's like a reward for all the work he put in.
Man, that's cool. Tell me about, you mentioned calling your mom, right? Like, what is that like? Can you describe, as much as the moment and getting the word from Eric obviously is a big deal, what is that phone call like?
I mean, the phone call, it was just, I mean, she was, my mom, I could just tell she was on pins and needles all the whole week from that weekend. So she was calling me in the morning. She would text me in the mornings. So I just knew she was on pins and needles. She called me the night before. It was like, make sure I'm the first person you call tomorrow, because she knew tomorrow was the day that they was going to have to make a decision. And then, so I told her, I texted her soon as I woke up, I said, make sure you have your ringer on all day. Because if I call you, you better answer. Man, when I called her, and she was just, like, I could just tell she was just ready for the news. And, man, it was just a special moment just to hear how excited she was. Because, I was just, that's just the best feeling in the world, knowing that you made your parents proud. And then even as a parent, just knowing that your kids are living out their dreams. That's just, I feel like that's a feeling both of us can, such a one in a lifetime feeling that we both got.
You led on when you spoke at training camp, or it's not training camp anymore. When you spoke to the media this week, you led on about your relationship with your mom and how important that is to you, right? Yeah. Like that she's done everything for you to get you to this place.
Yeah, most definitely. She always been there, but I can't make it just. It's my mom, but I always got to give shout out to my dad too. My dad, he been there. He supported me to get here too. So I mean, just both of them, just always being in my corner no matter what. So like them two, they did a great job just with me and my brothers. So I'm grateful to have two parents like them.
That's awesome, man. That's so cool. Keyon Martin, Baltimore Ravens cornerback, with us here on GCR. Keyon, something you led on this week. You got a tryout with the Ravens, but that was the only one that you had.
Yeah.
How bleak was that moment for you? That, like, you put in all this work and people weren't, sort of, banging down the door to bring you in. And what got you through that and allowed you to have the mindset that all I need is one? And if this is the one, then I'm going to go take advantage of that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was most definitely, like I said in the past interview, man, it was tough because it took me a while to process it, because just me being honest, like when I first got the mini camp invite, like I wasn't excited or happy that I got a mini camp. I was really mad. I didn't want anybody to post it on social media. I really didn't want to tell my mom. She told me, like, let me know if anything happen. I didn't even tell her that I got a mini camp invite, but it was just kind of selfish in my part, because it's not what I wanted. But at the end of the day, like the people in my circle, they still wanted to celebrate me, because it's a lot of people that didn't get mini camp invites. Even when I got the mini camp, and it, a couple of days, I got my mind back right to, okay, now you got the mini camp. Now you got to come out here and you got to prove it again. Because, I always had to do it since high school, since college. I always had to prove myself. So it was just kind of like, I got to do it again. So, but I mean, it was just, all right, you've been in this position before, so let's go ahead and just prove it to them again. And then I went and did my thing, mini camp, and then just at OTAs and training camp, it just more plays and more plays. They want to see more of me. And I just took advantage of every rep that I got. I went out there and I did what I had to do and made the plays when they came to me.
Did you know about the Ravens' history with undrafted free agents at the time?
I did.
And so
did you
believe, like, I really can earn my spot?
Yeah, I believe if it was one organization that was gonna give me, I got a true chance. That's what my agent was telling me. If it's a true chance that you got a chance to make the team, it will be the Ravens because they just got history of, having undrafted free agents thrive, and then just the character of the way that I play defense, it matches the way that the Ravens play. Like we always say, we say in the building, play like a Raven, and like my defense is the epitome of play like a Raven.
You are. I do wonder too, because you brought up your dad a second ago, right? Like, how much nothing was ever easy for him, right? Like he had to work and earn and go a different. Like he played in Canada for a little bit, correct?
He did.
How
Yes,
much?
he did.
How much did that maybe like? Did he give you lessons and talk to you about his own experiences? And did that help shape you at all for being able to take the hard road to these types of goals?
Yeah, most definitely, especially like when I started, as I got older and I learned his journey and his story, you start seeing, you start realizing the conversation that we're having, that he actually went through it. But my dad, he always motivated me and kept me going, even when, I kind of doubted myself sometimes, but he always told me to keep that confidence. Like one thing I always do, before every game, I call my dad, and he just he reassures me that when I step out there on the field, that I just play fast, play confident, and if I'm having fun, then I'm doing something right. So, that's something that just calms me. Like right before a game, I gotta call my dad because, it just relaxes me right before the game.
Wow. What is it? What is it that when did that start? I guess. When was the first time you called your dad before a game?
I think it was college.
Okay.
Because in high school, my dad, he was the DC at my high school.
Mm-hmm.
So he was right there. He used to talk to me before every game, and he talked to me and my brothers before every game. But once I got to high school, I just, you just miss them talks, because every player usually they got a routine that they like to do before every game, like a pregame ritual. And I knew that my dad wasn't gonna be there, but I could still call him. So I think it started like my freshman year of college.
You are a Broward County kid.
Yeah, Broward County.
You are now a teammate of Lamar Jackson's. How does that sit with you? Like how much has that hit you? Because I know that he is like otherworldly in Broward County. Like I know how significant of a figure he is down there. What does it mean to you that you are now a teammate of Lamar Jackson?
Man, it's crazy because, going back home and how everybody talk about Lamar Jackson, stuff like that. Like he's just, like you said, like he's an idol. He's a superstar in Broward County. But it's cool to see him every day, and he found out that I was from Broward, so he cool with me, and every time he see me, he speaks, and even with Zay Flowers being from Broward County, like back home they say the Broward County Ravens, so it's cool to play for the Ravens and be from Broward County.
Dude, that's so cool, man. Do you already have like friends and family that already had Ravens jerseys that are like, this worked out perfectly?
Oh yeah, a lot of them already had Lamar Jackson.
Oh man, that's so cool, dude. That's so cool. What about the element of it that like this could be anyone, right? Like this could have been the Bengals. No disrespect to other organizations.
Yeah.
But it's the Ravens. Like it's Lamar Jackson. It's the history. It's Ed Reed and Ray Lewis and championships and regularly being in the mix. You're not just in the NFL. You're on one of the best teams in the NFL. What does that part of this mean to you?
It just speaks, in my opinion, I feel like it speaks value of what type of football player I am. Like, we got the deepest DB room in the NFL, and I was able to find my way and stick on a 53-man roster in the deepest deepest DB room in the NFL. So, I mean, I feel like it just speaks volume that, like this guy can really go out there and play football at a high level and actually make plays at a high level. So.
Is it difficult? Like, when did you have to tell yourself, all right, enough celebrating? Like, this is only the first part of the journey. Like, we got a lot more work to do.
Really, probably an hour after they told me I made a team. I mean, they told me, right, we had practice. So, yeah, probably like an hour. Yeah, it didn't take long for me to, all right. All
right, yeah. Now we got to go beat the Bills. Like, that's the way this goes. Like, cool, great. Now let's go beat the Bills. Let's go win a Super Bowl. Like, let's go get the job done. You said that when you went up, you really thought you were going to be cut. Did you feel that, like, in the weeks leading up? Did you feel like, nah, man, I think I'm on the good side of this? Like, walk me through what those couple of days were like leading up to it.
I mean, it was never. Like, I'm one of them, I'm a guy who just don't like to I don't put stress on myself that I feel like I don't need to. So, I mean, a lot of the stress that people put on themselves is mainly like just the thoughts. So, I was never stressing or in my head about, was that game good enough to be on the team? It was just, I was really just enjoying every day and embracing every day. So, each practice, I was just going out there and I was just having fun. And every game, I was just going out there and having fun. And, I mean, I did enough plays to make the team, but I was never worried about, was that play good enough or stuff like that. That was never my thought process.
I mean, a sack and safety, that was a cool moment. That was that one didn't suck. The first time the Ravens won a Super Bowl, they had a Louisiana guy on the roster. Do you know anything about Brandon Stokely at all? Like, does that name resonate with you in any way?
Brandon Stokely, he went to the Louisiana.
Yeah, he did.
I see him on the wall. I don't really know much about him, but we got an NFL wall, and I've seen him on the wall before.
Dude, he caught a touchdown, in fact, in Super Bowl 35 for the Baltimore Ravens.
Oh, that's crazy.
In 2000, so, like, maybe it's destiny in that way, right? Like, the Ravens need some Raging Cajuns on the roster in order to win Super Bowls. Maybe there's something to that. I'm not sure. Keyon, just the entirety of the journey, right? Like, prep school, moving a couple times in college, right? Yeah. What has the entirety of the journey done for you? Like, how has it better prepared you for this moment in reaching the NFL?
I mean, my journey has just been, one thing I always try to do is never compare my journey to somebody else's.
Okay.
Like, you always see people that they look at other people's journey and be like, I could go this road, but I mean, I just embraced my own journey, really. Like, I started off at Air Force Academy because I didn't really have any offers going out of school, coming out of high school, and I wanted to play D1. And then just, I always knew in my head that, like, if you talk to any of my friends, anybody I'm cool with, when I was in college, I would say some crazy things. Like, my freshman year, I thought I could, like, in my head, I can go out there and guard anybody in the NFL my freshman year. But that's just my confidence is just through the roof. And I feel like you need that as a DB because, it's a hard position to play. It's a tough position to play. So, but yeah, my confidence is I always knew that I could play at the highest level of football. Always.
Man. And here you got the opportunity, and you proved everybody. You proved everybody that was true. I did love, because I remember seeing on your Twitter, what water covers 3/4 of the world, and I cover the rest, right? So, perfect. Keyon Martin, really appreciate taking the time for us this morning, man. So happy for you. Thank you so much for doing this, and look forward to seeing your journey moving forward, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. No problem, man. Yeah, let's go get this Super Bowl.